I'm not.
You're not.
Nope, I'm just on my headset upstairs right now. I noticed last week on yours, I was super quiet when the recording came through. So I
Really?
think that might be probably because I was on my other mic. And it was just adjusted different, you know, because it was sitting further away from me.
Yeah.
So we should definitely check the level tonight now that I'm on a different headset again.
Alright.
Hang on 1 second. I actually, the notification just popped up that you're live.
We are now Tree Show pre-show.
I will also pull that up too. Twitch.
Oh my gosh.
Channel.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Second.
Do you mean on the Twitch?
Video.
Hold on.
Did you say you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Well, that's weird.
Aha!
I muted the mic and...
Well, I mean, I can hear you right now. I don't know if I can hear you on the show.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Ah, I see. Can you hear me? Okay, tell me if it sounds like I'm cutting out. Am I cutting out now when Okay. I was like, I thought I muted my mic, but it was actually selected to use my headset mic instead of the other one. Yeah, does that sound better now? Yeah, because I was trying to do something and I muted muted the mic on the mic itself, and then you were like, I can still hear you. Like, you shouldn't.
I'll put on here BRB, everyone. Even though there's nobody here but us.
So, did you hear? I didn't actually listen back to the whole thing. Gwen was in the last episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't have that issue there. All right.
No, but
No,
I streamed the last episode.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Right
wonder if
now,
you've got
you
it set.
can't hear any of our party audio, like none of us, not even her, on the Twitch. But
No.
if it's gonna be if we can't figure it out, I can always link mine real quick and do it, and then we can work with yours after.
Alright, so we got it to include party audio. Include mic audio. Alright, Snugpod Cast. Take 2. We are now broadcasting. Again! Tree Show pre-show
Okay.
take 2.
Let me check it.
Console woes.
So far, nothing. Why are we not being heard?
I don't know. I know all my settings are right. I know they're
That's
right.
weird. Okay, hold
I
on.
can hear you on YouTube, so it's as far as that goes, like you're allowing your voice to be heard in other people's broadcasts.
Yeah. It's odd that I can't hear us on Twitch, though.
So
Like, none of us. Okay, hold on.
who's got the stream? Gwen, you doing the stream?
Mm-hmm. I have it to include party audio, and I have it to include my microphone. We are broadcasting, and
Yeah, we definitely are, because I can see us there.
okay.
Wait, I just heard it. I just came on.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Cool. It was automatically muting me. There was an extra setting.
That's weird.
I know. But we're good now.
Hooray! I was like about to go and unlink and relink everything on mine to see if that made a difference or if it was a Twitch problem with the consoles right now at the moment.
Okay, so I think I've got you two sounding okay together, but I just need to make sure I sound okay in there too.
Yeah, no problemo.
Okay.
I hear myself.
I hear you too.
That's funny.
I'm just getting all
I
of
hear
our
you both.
hashtag things.
That would explain why we're quiet.
Okay. Tweet is sending. I am checking the other stream.
Gwen, I just bumped you up
Okay.
too, so let's see if you sound any better. It sounded like you were a little quiet.
Sounded good. Or I sounded like an okay level when I was listening on mine.
Alright, speaking louder.
Speaking louder.
Using loud words.
You don't have to speak louder.
Loud words!
Loud noises. Okay. I'm going to open up everything. Hooray. That's open.
Alright, I think it sounds okay. If one of you wants to check the YouTube and see how it sounds on your end.
I checked a minute ago on mine, and it sounded I sounded pretty loud. Just give me a second.
It's so hard to do this with because I'm trying to like mute my mic and listen, but there's that delay.
Yeah, that's always the hard part. Hold on one second. let me... Come on. Where's Snugpod? I know we're live. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna mute.
I need like a second earpiece in so I can hear the audio. Then it would get really confusing and having different stuff going in each ear.
Gwen, can you talk for a second?
Yes, I can talk. There's sweet rolls that have a green frosting tonight, and that's pretty cool.
You know what would go good with sweet rolls? Salty potato chips. Then you get your sweet and salty both.
I'm not a fan of salty potato chips.
They're not necessarily my favorite. I was just making conversation.
Oh, okay.
Just so she could hear the audio.
Fair.
Sounds fine to me.
Well.
So Gwen and I sound pretty close. Because you and Gwen
potato chips.
You and Gwen sounded pretty close too. Of course, it's hard. Sometimes it fluctuates between depending on what we're talking about, but
now I need to find sweet rolls.
Depending on whether or not you get more excitable about certain things, But yeah.
I need a sweet roll emote. Why don't we have a sweet roll emote?
Is there not one? Oh. You know what I need? I need snackies. Even though I ate earlier and shouldn't be hungry.
Stop saying snacks! I really want donuts. Like, I super bad want a donut.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's way too cold to go get donuts right now.
Yeah, my kids got donuts at church this morning and they came in, they were like, we got donuts. And I'm like, really? And you didn't bring me one? Wow.
Running around and elsewhere, and someone mentions donuts in zone chat, and I've been wanting one ever since.
Darn zone chat's causing cravings. That's funny. Yeah. 11:30. 12:30 for some.
11:29.
I just realized I've been talking this whole time freaking muted because I was checking your stream earlier and never unmuted.
Wow.
So what I was trying to say is I'm ready whenever you are, and I have all my tabs open, and then I was like, let me get to the combat notes, and I'm like sitting here talking. I'm like, why is everyone ignoring me? And I look over and I'm like, oh, the yellow light's on my controller. It's muted. Idiot.
Now all you need is the Dwight ringtone from The Office. Idiot, 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 idiot.
Oh,
my brain goes to Supernatural and just goes, idjit.
Oh,
Idjit.
Yeah, idjit.
Idjit.
Alright. That show ran about 4 or 5 seasons. Too long, I think, but anyway. It got way too serious.
Oh, goodness.
I could never get that far, but such is life. Anyway,
I got to
we're
a point
here to
where
talk about, other monsters.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright.
Let's do the thing.
Let's do the thingamabobber.
Quiet.
Alright, un momento. And I shall be right back. Hello, everyone. You are currently in the Snugpod with the Snugpod Cast crew. I am never separate, and I have with me, if you're on screen watching, to my left, well, to my right, to your left. Wow, this is confusing. Gwen the Bard. How are you, Gwen?
Hello. I'm awake.
You're awake.
Still, after killing like 60 dragons.
60 dragons. That's a lot of dragons.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's impressive.
Didn't feel like it.
And that other voice you heard was Gone Crazy Back Soon. How are you?
I'm good. I was killing dragons too recently, but not like Gwen.
Yeah, 60 dragons is a lot of dragons. Alright, so you want to tell us about that, Gwen? What's with the 60 dragons?
Well, it's Sundas. And on Sundas, we work on art projects that are not drawing, and we just chill. And so, while I was waiting for dragons to spawn, I was working on an art project. And I'm like, you know what? We'll try to get the Endeavor complete on both on PC and PlayStation. Why not? So we ended up killing 60 dragons.
Oh, is that the weekly? I haven't even looked
Yep.
at that. That's a lot of
Yep.
dragons.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get it at this point.
Probably not. Probably not. That's okay.
Not unless we start right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Show's over, guys. We're gonna go slay some dragons.
We're just like, we're taking a field trip, everybody. You get to listen to us talk about everything killing dragons.
Starting from because I wasn't starting from zero because we had our dragon hunt last night on PlayStation, okay? But starting from zero on PC this morning, it took me about 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot of dragons.
Wow.
And that's a long time to kill those dragons. Oh, I mean, I guess realistically, if you could actually kill 60 dragons in 3.5 hours, that would be pretty impressive. You probably would help Tamriel's dragon problem, but, you know, I don't know how many dragons.
Oh my gosh. So I would just go and I'd kill a dragon and I'd get back to working on my scale mail and I'd go and I'd kill a dragon and I'd get back to working on my scale mail and it worked.
Nice. So what else you been up to? Anything else in game?
Decorating the Snugpod. There's more books in here. We have all of the Shalador's library books in here except for Deshawn. Still need Deshawn. And then next, I think I'll try to put together an event so if anyone else wants to get them while I do it, we can get Vivek's 36 lessons. And yeah, that's about it.
Nice.
What have you been up to?
Inventory management online. I thought I was doing pretty good. I got down to like 160 slots, something like that, 150 something maybe. And I was like, all right, let's go do some of these daily dragon hunt quests for the event. And then for everyone you kill, you're getting those boxes, and then you turn them in, you're getting like double boxes right now, right? At least I think you get. We getting 2 boxes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so at the end of the day, by the time you open all those things, and they've got all these treasures and like garbage potions and food items and stuff you don't need, and it's like, oh, cool. I gotta clean stuff out, and I can't loot this dragon right now. And so I'm like having to do that. I've missed some dragons because in the process of, you know, me killing one and trying to get my inventory managed and seeing where the other one was, I couldn't make it in time because I was trying to get cleared up to loot the, one I just killed. But yeah, just and I've been trying to log in. I haven't gotten every day, just haven't had an opportunity to get on every night, but I've tried to get on most nights, and I've gotten all the pieces for the pet, and I have, I think, gotten the first one for the morph, and I'll try to start working on getting the pieces for the pet again, and thankfully through trading with you and Gwen, and I think that was you that gave me the legs, right? For the
You now have pants.
Yeah, now I have pants. This cat has pants. That was really the main piece I wanted from that style, the style that's in the event vendor right now, Impresario. I've gotten a few of the other pieces, but now I've got the ones I want. So So that's worked out good, and I've gotten some motifs and stuff like that from the box that I didn't have. Not a ton of them, but I've gotten a few. I've gotten some stuff I already had. But, if you were here earlier, actually, I think we started the stream afterwards, but we were taking care of group inventory management and trading some stuff out. So, yeah, that's it's been pretty much it, I believe. I did get Casca. She's now wandering around my house.
Casca! I need to go. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Just kidding. I'm going to go talk to her right now.
Yeah, I just changed out the mount that I had on the path, and now it's Casca that runs at you when you come in. So
I love it.
That's terrifying.
She can run
Casca's
up
a
and say hi.
beast.
Yeah, so she can run up, and now you can be like, what are you doing? And then she'll talk to you. So, yeah. What about you, Crazy?
Oh, man. I've been doing the Elsewhere event, like, quite a bit. Mostly just for tickets, because that's what timing has been like. But I do get a few things preloaded some days, and then I get to do extra boxes. But yeah, we did our Dragon Hunt. That was our multi-platform event. We ran it on PlayStation last night, and we killed, oh my gosh, what was it, like 20, was it 28, 27, 30?
27.
I don't know, something
27.
something like that, in about an hour, which, considering we only had like one group of people, basically, technically, because we had an odd number, wait, that's pretty good for our size. The Northern Elsewhere spawn times for dragons are just poo-poo. Like, we were doing one for every two that the peeps in Southern Elsewhere were getting. Yeah, while I was doing that, I got an achievement for getting 150 leads because I picked up 2 leads while we were farming the dragons. So that was kind of fun because I didn't know that achievement existed because I hadn't perused the achievements list lately to see. The only other thing that really of note that happened was I clipped a really funny thing on Twitch from the stream because we streamed it on the Lore Seekers ESO Twitch last night when we were doing the event. Peanut did the Xbox stream, and then I took over and did the PlayStation stream. But I jumped off of a cliff, and it was far, far too high for me to should have survived. And I did survive, which made it really, really funny, because then I screamed about being a Bosmer and having fall reduction damage. And it was...
It's luck of the Bosmer. That's all it is.
Yeah,
luck of the Bosmer.
It was quite funny to me the whole way that it went down. I also feel guilty and feel like we should have had 2 more dragons, because there were 2 dragons that I did not get to in time for it to count, because I was the group leader, and I flipping got lost twice in Northern Elsewhere because Northern Elsewhere. And so I was like, dang it, we could have been so close. I think, did we do 30 last time, Gwen?
32.
32 last time. Okay. But we also had way more people last time.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had like 10 or 12 people. Last night we only had 6. So considering we only had 6 peeps from PlayStation, 27 ain't too shabby a number.
You gotta take into account that most of us are playing on new gen consoles, so those load screens went a lot faster, and that probably
That's
is what
also
helped
true too.
for us being a smaller number.
That is very true too. But yeah, it was just super fun. I always love streaming the multi-platform stuff because I think it gives exposure to the fact that we have all, multiple platforms in the guild. And I think it's really, really fun that everybody gets to see that. So, other than that, I've been working on some stuff because this month and next month, well, actually kind of this month through April, that's the word I was looking for, not April. April is the Lore Seekers 5th anniversary. Can you believe it? That's crazy.
Whoa.
Insane.
I know. It's nuts.
It's
So
like I want to go
we've
up on a
got
hill,
some.
find a cypress hill, or find a. I ruined it. I ruined it. I was gonna say I want to go on a hill, find a cypress tree, and tell everybody I was insane in the membrane, but dropping them '90s references like I know what I'm talking about.
Wow. Yeah. No. So hopefully we get some other fun like multi-platform things happening. We did have some ideas that were thrown around a couple weeks ago at a guild meeting. So hopefully some of those things will come to fruition soon.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm still rooting for the fashion contest.
I think that will actually happen. We just have to get it a little bit better organized. I think we're trying to get through our lore card event that Matt's been working on before we add more to the.
There's like what,
the
3
pot.
left, 4 left?
I think there's 3 or 4 cards left, and that's it. But I don't think that anyone else can actually get a higher hand. I think he already knows who's won.
Oh, sad.
I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. Still, if you're still trying for the other 3 cards, it's still going to count for points, right? So I just don't know if there's anybody that has that like alliance flush or whatever yet at this point. So, yeah, pretty fun stuff.
Cool.
So there you go.
All right. Also, a nice little tidbit there that might have gotten just kind of glanced over if we didn't address this already. Congratulations, Gwen, on the PS5.
Thanks.
Yeah.
The faster load screen so you can get into the Snugpod just a little faster.
Just a little faster. So much faster.
Not that helps us start any sooner because we have all these other shenanigans happening, but
Yeah, we've actually been starting later.
Well,
Yeah.
it's because we're just trying to figure out all the sound and stuff. It happens. We'll get
Yeah.
there.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, and RL stuff has been a little bit more hectic lately. Nothing bad, just hectic. Just trying to got some pretty significant adjustments being made around my home, and might share more about that at a later date when some things are a little more permanent, I guess. But yeah, so tricky to navigate. But anyway, let's get started. We got a bunch of stuff in the news, right? Some PTS stuff,
So much news.
Crown Store
Yeah.
stuff.
I wasn't expecting this much news, and then when I started building notes, I was like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah,
It's
I
like
always
there's
forget
more than
that
I thought.
I always forget that the PTS stuff comes out so quick after the reveal because PC gets
Yeah.
PTS and I don't, and so I don't.
Don't worry about it. It's not worth it. I mean, sure, it's worth it, but at the same time, it's not worth it because, oh my gosh, does it take up space?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about it, but because I can't do it anyway, like I tend to just sort of not really take a ton of interest in it, just in the sense of like looking for it. But then like stuff starts coming out, I'm like, oh yeah, that is a thing. So now I'm interested. I'll look and see what they're doing. But
Right.
I'm always interested. I love Gina's side notes.
I know. Me too. The thing that I always have a hard time with is I know that the PTS patch notes are going to change. So whenever you see the first version, it's like, okay, these numbers are not going to be anywhere close. Like, we'll have an idea of what the changes are that they're trying to implement. But, like, the numbers or certain percentages are going to constantly change over the next 2 weeks or so. So you can't really, like, take the numbers into account yet,
Right. I think some of the stuff that's been kind of interesting though is even more so maybe than specific numbers. It's just sort of the direction that you see that they're trying to go. And so that's something that I wanted to kind of touch on. Just some of the quality of life things that they're doing. That the numbers aren't. There's not really specific numbers involved with that. It's just like, here's a change we're making, and here's why. And then some of the reasoning behind certain things that may have numbers that will change, but the reasoning behind it, so you get an idea of maybe the direction that they're trying to move in terms of how certain parts of combat work, or or how you might try to play, different strategies that you may be able to use now, how it could affect the types of gear or types of skills that you need based on the way certain skills are changing, that kind of thing. Where it's, the numbers may change, but if that's the route that they're looking at going, uh, at least gives you sort of a sense of what uh, what you're looking at.
Right.
Anything stand out to you ladies?
Oh yeah, the light attack weaving.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a numbers person, so let me start with that. But I read, well, when you read the section kind of about light attack weaving and what was happening, they have really been working, it seems like, since update 35 to look at the adjustments that they made to light attacks, because I think it honestly backfired on them. So, like, one of the things that they looked at in update 35 was they were trying to reduce the impact of light attack weaving with high-end damage production, because not everybody is great at it, to be honest. The people that are masters of it are truly masters of it. But if you're bad at it, it made that gap pretty significant, right? So then they like messed with it, and then they basically realized that some of the things they had to compromise on, or some of the end result, was just this weird like flat nerf that it hurt everything and nobody really liked it. And to be honest, I think a lot of that drove a lot of the higher end game players away. A lot of people did not like the way update 35 felt. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I just kind of was like, meh, whatever. Like, my numbers look different. Oh well. Like, that's how I personally felt about it. But when you go back and you read these PTS notes, going back to that, they are now working at trying to keep the power of light attacks within this certain deviation, kind of, during an optimized build, but also increase the performance for players who aren't optimized. So basically what they did, or what they're doing, is they're scaling calculations of where the damage is derived from and how it's inflated. It'll have a cap with the base stats, like weapon or spell damage, but it also... It's not a cap in terms of how much damage your light attacks can do in general. It's basically how much damage you can reach within your stats of weapon or spell damage. So, if you look at it that way, what it says here, I'm going to read this section like word for word, as it says, we're implementing a new feature on damaging light attacks where their scaling calculations of how they derive their damage will be inflated compared to before, with a cap in how much they can reach with base stats like weapon or spell damage, magicka, or stamina. This base damage cap will be 3850 for melee attacks and 90% of that for ranged attacks, which is within a 100 to 200 damage deviation from the base damage of some of the highest parses that we're seeing in game. Note, this base damage cap is not a cap in terms of how much damage it can do in general. This number is purely how much damage can reach within your stats, like weapon or spell damage. The base damage cap will then feed into the rest of the combat calculation system with critical bonuses, damage bonuses, mitigation, and so on. So the 3850 can still return a higher value in actual combat situations.
Right.
Now, if you read that, probably for most people, unless you're really great at understanding that, it sounds a lot like gibberish. It is a tad hard to understand or break down, to be honest. I was watching some of Skinny Cheek's stuff, and he had a really great video where he puts all of these different numbers into a spreadsheet, basically, that has that new 3850 cap in it. And what it was looking at, because people were concerned that it would basically be a reduction in their light attack damage at the top end, and I think what he said it came out to is, like, they might see, depending on what they're wearing and where they are at cap, like a 1% decrease if you're, like, higher up.
Right.
But for players that are less optimized, you may see up to, like, a 10% increase in your light attack damage. because of how it's going to be adjusting now.
Yeah.
So I think I personally am excited about this. I want to see how much of a difference it makes for people. I think it will hopefully feel a lot better to people, and I hope that it brings some people back.
So I watched some of his stuff, and I saw some stuff that Hack did too. When they were kind of breaking that down. I think it was mostly Skinny Cheeks that I saw some of the more detailed info on, and but basically, yeah, the lower end players that aren't optimized as well, their damage is going to scale up faster. But so it'll be harder for them to get, or they'll be able to get up closer to that cap easier. So they'll be doing more damage without having fully optimized setups. So that'll bring them up. It'll raise the floor, so to speak. And that number will bring down the top end light attack DPS down by, I think, like you said, it was like, might have said like 5% or something. But then
I think that was like at its most, if you were perfectly weaving.
Right. But the way
like every time.
He added to that, though, and this is something a lot of people kind of, I think, might overlook. He said that, even if you're talking a 5% difference in your light attack damage, he said that's not a 5% or whatever the number
overall
was. It's not that percent overall, because your light attacks might only be 5% of your damage,
of
or
your
10%
damage,
of your
right?
Damage. So then it's 10% of your damage, and a small percent of that damage is gonna come down. So overall, you're not really gonna see sure, if you're hanging out with the parse dummy over and over again, you'll notice a lower number. But in terms of actual combat, it's not gonna be hugely significant. I mean, for those people that are just really, really particular about that stuff, I'm sure they'll probably notice it took me a minute longer to kill this boss, or whatever the numbers are. But for the vast majority of players, I think it does sound like it's going to be an improvement. So I definitely want to see how it plays out.
And I think this will be nice for the players that don't have access, for example, to endgame content, gear, and stuff initially, or at least or maybe they don't ever have access to it because that's not the way that they play, right? So on one hand, are we kind of going a little casual when you look at it that way? Absolutely. But at the same time, I think this will hopefully maybe help with some of the problems that people felt there were with the update 35 situation, in making it feel a little less clunky, and maybe have the DPS feel a little bit better from where it is now. It's not going to fix everything. And am I thrilled about them starting to cap certain things? I don't know how I feel about that overall.
Yeah, that was
but I think that right now, as long as they don't cap everything, as long as they don't keep you from raising your DPS in other ways, I don't see a problem with it. So I'm excited to see what happens and how it feels.
This isn't the first thing they've capped, right? They capped, what was it, crit
damage?
No, they capped
crit, yeah.
Yeah. And that's, what is it, 150% or 200% or something?
I can't even remember. Yeah, it's something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, there's the argument that it's getting too casual. I understand that. I guess to some extent, because I am more of a casual player, so I'm arguing from this side of it, I guess. But I think to some extent, the more people that you can get playing your game that like the way the game feels,
the healthier it will be.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have a bigger player base, and you're going to get more people looking to do that in-game harder content. They're gonna like what they're playing as they go, and they're going to keep progressing. The more people that are playing overall, just means that you're going to have more opportunity for that to happen. Fewer players overall, to some extent, it's likely just going to mean fewer people pushing to get to those higher levels. So, we'll see. Gwen, you have any thoughts on the light attack stuff there?
Light attacks, no. However, I do have one thought on these patch
Okay.
So, they got rid of the only reason I like being a vampire.
Oh
And that
no!
upsets me. Mist form doesn't exist anymore. Now it's a teleport. I can do that as a warden. I'm so sad. That just shattered my heart reading that.
Can you do that as a warden?
Teleporting? Yeah, you can make frozen gates. You can have up to 3 gates at a time. You can either teleport enemies or you can use them to teleport your group.
Yep.
Huh. I've never actually used that ability, I guess. I guess I didn't even realize that was there.
Yeah, it's the final one that you unlock in the Winter's skill line.
So it's not your ultimate, it's one of the regular skills?
Mhm.
Huh. Okay. Alright. Yeah, what else did that change? Let's see. Misformed.
Yeah.
It's no longer a toggled effect that reduces your damage while active, causing you to become immune to crowd control. Instead, it focuses on quick and liberating movement, causing you to quickly travel to your targeted location as a gap closer while simultaneously avoiding incoming projectiles while you do so.
Basically, instead of being an awesome, cool little like floating blood cloud, you teleport.
Boo.
Yeah, and it does it not just to the baseline, but it does it to its morphs too, which sucks. So I'm kind of really bummed because that's the only reason I play a vampire. I absolutely love going around in mist form. That's why I have a vampire. So that's really sad.
Is your main a vamp? I don't know if I realized that.
She is some days.
Oh, you have alternate builds.
Whenever I'm in like PvP and stuff, and I like somewhere I'm trying to be extra sneaky and quest and stuff, I have a vampire build for her, so that way she can use mist form.
Gotcha.
But now I can't use mist form anymore, so here you get to listen to my heart breaking on stream in real time. No! There you
go. It sounds a little like this. Actually, that's just a water bottle.
That's pretty accurate. All right.
Wow, the sound effects. We're getting really high quality here.
Yeah, empty water bottles make great sounds. Yeah, so I guess the other thing regarding combat, there's a lot of things changing with the way tanks work. So I don't know if y'all had a chance to look at that. But
I saw a few DK things, but that's pretty much it.
Well, not specific to the classes, but just in the way certain things function.
Like taunting? I saw something about taunting.
Yeah, so tank use Os. I'm going to taunt you now. But it'll just be a soft taunt, and it won't interrupt the other taunts, okay? Yeah, so currently the way that it functions on live is there's a taunt immunity that bosses, or I guess anything, but bosses specifically are going to be the issue, I think. But so if you have multiple tanks, like you do in a lot of trials, then if they switch from one tank to the other, taunting the boss, there's a 3. That can happen 3 times, and then the enemy becomes immune to taunting. They've upped that to 5, so that it will reduce that, accidental taunts or whatever, causing issues. So it'll help cut down on some of that. And they've also put back in soft taunts, which I guess they removed. So a hard taunt will always override a soft taunt, and a soft taunt will never override a hard taunt. Hard taunt. Anyway, but they've changed it so that pull abilities such as Fiery Grip or Silver Leash, whenever you use those, they apply a soft taunt for 15 seconds, I believe it is, and then, of course that number could change. It used to be 5 seconds in the past, but now you're going to be able to pull enemies in and not have to worry about using a second ability to taunt them. And I think they even said that um, item sets that pull a single target would do the same thing, but area of effect pulls like Dark Convergence, Void Bash, those will not be affected. So you won't be able to just use an ability or an item that will pull multiple enemies at one time and taunt them uh, that way. Um, but still a couple of good changes there, and I think that might have been it. Aside from like specific changes, um, with Dragon Knights or whatever. Like I said, I wasn't looking at that as much. It's just the overall um, changes that they were doing. But so, what do y'all think about those? Think those are good changes? I know, crazy. You don't really
I,
play a tank, but
well, I have one. I just haven't used her in a long time.
yeah,
I think the taunt change might be good. I mean, I don't. I haven't ever tanked in a trial, but I could imagine that if you're dealing with flipping back and forth with, taunting certain things and whatnot, that if you're changing who is taunting what, or if someone accidentally grabs something they shouldn't grab,
uh-huh.
when you've got more than one, I can imagine now bumping that number up to 5 before it becomes immune will be helpful to keep certain groups from wiping.
Yeah.
Especially if you're working on, some sort of a prog or like a trifecta situation. I can imagine that would be helpful. Probably kind of curb some of the challenges that may happen with that too. I mean, I'm on board for that, but like I said, I don't really tank that much. I've done it here or there in a few of the base game dungeons just for funsies. I'd like to learn to do it more. It's just I get so little gameplay time as it is. I don't,
Right.
I don't have a lot of time to sit and learn a whole new way of doing the game to keep other people alive at this point in time anyway.
What about you, Gwen? You tank some.
As someone who has not done enough tanking to do any of the harder tanking content, I don't really have an opinion on this.
Well, all right, there you have it. I think I haven't done a lot of tanking in trials. I'm not actually sure if I've ever tanked in a trial, to be honest. I haven't
We've tried. We've tried to get you to.
Yeah. I mean, I've ran I've ran a handful of trials, but I don't think I've ever done it as the tank. So the taunting issue with losing taunt, I don't think I've had to deal with too much. Um, Except for those situations maybe where you get in with a pug that's got some DPS using inner fire, or that thinks that their sword and shield is a DPS tool, and which you can make that work in some cases, but they're using puncture and constantly taking taunt away from the tank. Um, or in the past when frost staff was a problem, and people were heavy attacking and taunting, and because they didn't realize that that was happening or whatever. Um, but the other thing with the pulls, being able to use Silver Leash, since I tank on my Templar mostly, so I don't have the Dragon Knight pull, but being able to use Silver Leash and pull things in, and it automatically applies that taunt, then excuse me, I think that's probably gonna feel pretty good. Oh, and the other thing that they mentioned, this isn't just for tanks, but probably benefits tanks the most, is they're changing it so that when you switch bars while blocking, you don't drop block.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that.
So
I did see that.
yeah, and apparently there are some people who don't really like that because they think that that's part of learning the skill of the game, and okay. I guess we can agree to disagree on stuff like that. I don't think that needs to be too big of a point of contention, um, but uh, but that is a change that it will probably help a lot of people who maybe struggle with some of those. Oh, I have a 0.5 second window to block that attack or whatever. I need to switch this other skill so I can self heal or do whatever I need to do, but that's on the other bar, and and then they just miss it by half a second or something. So I think that'll probably, again, going back to the whole, the more people you can get enjoying the game, uh, that aren't thinking, gosh, this is just too hard to do, they're eventually
Right.
going to play and get better at it. So yeah, I thought that was a good change. Um, I had one other thing from the patch notes I thought we'd touch on, but did y'all have anything else?
I didn't get to read all of them, if I'm being completely honest.
That's fine. Apparently, you can pet a dog now over in the Alakir Desert.
Woohoo!
That's an important change there. They're gonna add dogs
If anyone
everywhere.
cares about that, I know people like petting dogs.
I do. I still haven't done that achievement though in Galen and High Isle. I gotta get on that.
It's such a fun achievement.
Gotta hug a horse.
Hug a horse. Okay.
That's part of the achievement.
So I'm looking for this other thing.
Was it the whole Winter's Embrace crystallized shield? It now grants 2 ultimate instead, rather than restoring magicka?
No, this isn't combat
like-
related.
Oh, okay. Because my brain's just going, I do not need more ultimate regeneration. I always have enough ultimate at all times. Why? Please, other wardens, argue me on this, because I can't wrap my head around it. But we're good.
While I'm looking for that, let me ask you this: is because I don't remember, but currently in your house, if you have items stored in your house storage, that's like your chest, right?
Yeah.
Can you pull from that in your housing menu?
From a chest? No.
No.
No. You can pull from your bank.
So, because I'm looking for this other thing, but I just scrolled past this and saw it, and they have listed under housing quality of life improvements. They're adding additional filters to the placement and retrieval tabs of your housing editor. You can now filter by whether the placed item is coming from your bank, inventory, house storage, or collectibles.
Oh,
that's cool.
So
that's really cool.
It sounds like you're going to be able to now put things in those storage containers and still pull from them. If I'm reading that correctly, so that's
If
cool.
you are, that sounds great.
I do like that they added in some drop rates fixes for antiquities. Because
Right.
there are some of those mythics that you're just like, oh my gosh, why? I have been here for forever and I cannot get what I need. And it seems like there's a pretty significant list. I won't go over all of them, but there's a pretty significant list of like furnishings, mythics, and then other collectibles that had bad drop rates. So
Yeah.
that's nice that they're fixing that
Yeah,
too.
they did say they had some stuff that was just wasn't dropping as often as it should. Yep. So, okay, here it is. Because I think this will be something that a lot of people hopefully will appreciate. I will, because I'm always like, what time does this thing reset? They're changing the reset timers.
Oh, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
that's
They're
written in there? Awesome.
They're aligning all of them.
Yeah. So, this is short, so I'll just read it. Many daily timers have been aligned to the same time as the daily login reward, 3 a.m. UTC for European servers and 10 a.m. UTC for North American servers, including Activity Finder's first of the day participation and wins, daily enlightened experience gains, daily quests and endeavors, daily writs and hireling mails. This is a fairly significant change, I think, for people that can't log in multiple times a day. It says, note, the crafting hireling rank 3 passives, which used to send 12 hours after the last one, will now send mail daily with double the material. So instead of getting it, instead of needing to log in twice in a 12-hour with 12-hour gaps to get all the benefits from your hirelings, now you just log in once a day and you just get double. So that's gonna be nice.
I'm not sure I realized or ever noticed that it was the other way because of the time that I normally play.
Yeah. I mean, there are some times, like there's been times where I might log on maybe before going to work in the morning just to I've got a little time, I'll just do some inventory stuff or run a dungeon real quick or something, and then come back from work and log on and get the stuff again. But usually it doesn't happen. I think that was maybe just put in as a way of trying to entice people to log in multiple times a day, but I mean, realistically, a lot of people they have a time of day they can play, and so I think that's definitely a good change. And it says a variety of the miscellaneous items, including riding skill, training, fence, launder limits, and remain silent. Wait, did I skip? Okay, no, I didn't. So I guess those things can be used on a more regular basis, maybe. Or several weekly timers have been aligned to reset on Sundays at the same time as the daily resets, including trial, solo, and battleground leaderboards, weekly quests, and endeavors. So yeah, so it's just going to make it easier to keep up with, when certain things are going to be changing. Because the way it is now, it's like this thing changes at this time, and this thing changes at this time, and I can never remember which. Like, do I need to go ahead and do this thing again, or is it not reset for another 2 hours? We've had that conversation a few times when we've been playing. It's like, okay, having it all just have the same times would, I think, clean that up a lot. So I think that'll be a good change. Other than that, I mean, there's a ton of stuff in there, but there's a lot of stuff about specific item sets and changes to classes and things like that. But I mean, we'd spend hours talking about that stuff.
True.
So, but I don't have anything specific on that. From there, if y'all don't have anything else, we head on down to the store.
Yes. Head on down to the store.
All right. Well, somebody else want to take that? I haven't had a chance to really look over the showcase yet, I don't think so.
Doesn't matter. We can all talk about it as we go, I suppose.
Oh yeah.
Well, first things first. February crown store is going to see me spending a lot of crowns. That's all.
Yeah?
I think so. Maybe when we get down towards the bottom of the stuff. Exclusive free item for the month of February is going to be your miniature statue of Baron Admiral Bendu Olo, the Admiral of the All Flags Navy. So, no spoilers there, but let's just say that if you like that statue, this is one of the ways you can see it all the time.
I really, really hope this year we get a Hermaeus Mora themed painting for the ESO Plus free thing one of these months.
I hope so.
Just
I like when
awesome
they do the paintings.
Painting. Right, they're just so much more useful than the statues.
Yeah, I like the thought of the statues, but like in execution, every time I get one, then I'm like, well, where do I put this?
We already have enough for a chessboard. We don't need any more.
Yeah. Well, and I actually will get this one because I do love this statue in the game as well. And it was one of the first things that I used in one of our lore lessons for Lore Seekers ESO. So I think I'll definitely pick this one up just for funsies.
Well, the next thing on the list is a horse that you can burn. Apparently.
Oh my gosh.
We get a Burning Man themed horse.
I wonder if when it comes in, do you think it's going to like set on fire?
Yes.
Or do you think it's going to like build itself out of wicker?
It will do both.
Yeah. I don't know, but I like it.
It'll probably build up on it, and then set itself on fire, and then you can ride off on it.
It's so cool. I like it. So the Wicker Steed is going to be in the store. I think this is a brand new one. I don't think we've ever seen this, right? Ice Reach Wicker Steed. Yep. So that's exciting. We've got our usual adornment things. This month it's a hair style. It's a really tall hairstyle. The standing wave.
I appreciate
little
that
pompadour
the
type thing.
I appreciate that the Argonian looks so different.
Yeah, I like the
Argonian.
Everyone's like pompadour, 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 mohawk.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
This is one of those hairstyles that I've never personally really cared for, but if you like it on your character, you do you. Crafting, we get the Drowned Mariner crafting motif. get your pirate on, wearing your piratey outfit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a pirate outfit. It comes from also defeating the final boss in Graven Deep. So that's where that actual style page comes from.
Ooh, fancy.
And everybody's favorite fork that smells like, what is it? Cheese and something else. The Fork of Horripilation from good old Sheogorath will be available in the store. It's available right now, actually, only for a few more days till February 9th. Gwen, what do you think? How do we say that guy's name?
I wrote a book on this. Okay, let me go find a couple of dice. Oh, I actually got a pack of dice right in front of me.
Put some marbles in your mouth.
Yep, I got my... Give me a sec. Let me get the dice out. Oh gosh, there's a big knot. I don't think I can do it in time.
Yep, no.
Well, we'll
Oh,
stall.
well. Next time.
There's
Next
little
time,
tentacly
next time.
things hanging from the top of the Snugpod here, if you're watching.
Dwemer drops. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. It's the Sentinel of Rakugums. Rakugums?
I think the
It's
Riku
probably
is
like...
silent.
You think it's just Gams? Sentinel of Gams. Just kidding. It's an arms pack. It's a Dwarven
Gam.
Centurion. Yeah. That's an outfit style. For that in the Crown store. Okay, here's where my money is about to go away. Under the wardrobe tab for this month, there's some really good costumes that I personally like. I don't know if anybody else does. The good news is I think I already own this one, the Queen's Eye Spy Master. That one is coming to the store, or back to the store.
You have little kitty ears on the hood, even if you're not a kitty.
Even if you're not a kitty, you get kitty ears. Yay! So you can dress like the Queen's Eye and flip a coin in the tavern's dark corner. The next one I don't really care about that much, but it might be nice for some people. It's the Ancestral Homage formal gown. This one is... Go ahead, Gwen.
You want to prep for Morrowind. This is a nice costume to prep for Morrowind.
Heck yeah, it is. I actually do really like it. It's just none of my characters ever really wear dresses. So, like, I have a bunch of costume dresses, and I don't really put them on them that much.
They're just not practical.
They're really not.
For, like, role-playing and stuff they would be, but we don't really do a lot of that.
No.
We like fighting.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you're going into a formal event, sure, put on a formal dress. If you're going out to slay a dragon, it's probably going to get you caught on fire.
That's when you
true.
need pants.
Listen, I'm klutzy enough. I don't need a dress. Y'all saw what happened when I jumped off a cliff. Imagine if I did that in a dress. I would be dead.
You would have
I
had
would
a
just
parachute.
I would just get tangled. Well, I might have had a parachute, but I also would have just gotten tangled up and died.
Or you would have got snagged on something, wouldn't have fallen all the way, and you could have stopped for a bit, and so that way you didn't take as much damage. I know you didn't take any damage, but normally you would have taken
robes.
damage.
Oh man, yeah.
Anyway.
That next one suits both of you. Wood
Yeah,
elf
yeah.
attire.
Why is that? Why does that suit us?
Wood elf
Yeah.
attire.
Okay. Yeah.
I actually think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I most definitely will probably be purchasing this one. The Vine Dusk Vigilant Rangers. This is like their Assassin Scout uniforms. It's the ones that they sometimes call the Tree Ghosts because they wear gear that matches their combat style. I like the kind of like weird cut of the bottom of this one. I think it's fun. And then the next one I'll probably buy just because I think it's kind of ridiculous, but I also kind of love it. It's the Subterrane Excavator. So it's like mining gear, and it looks like it's probably going to have a pretty cool backpack, some sort of a hat or helmet type piece, and I think that actually has a light on it.
It looks like
That's what
it has
looks
a little
like.
light on it. Yep.
It's so cool.
That's
It's like this weird quilted, like, kilt and top. Yeah, those look super fun. So those are the costumes. So maybe I'll be only spending 50% because there's 4 costumes, and I think I own one. The other one is a dress, and then the other 2 I might buy. but I will probably definitely be spending money on the Wood Elf one. Akaviri crates are back. Those are fun. Those will be in the store February 9th to March 9th. And then because it's February, it's Hearts Day. So there's going to be some Hearts Day furniture bundles, which are romantic. It has flowers, sweet rolls. If you want to get sweet rolls to decorate your house, like a tray of sweet rolls, this is your chance. It's in this furnishing pack.
Or you can go over to, like, you can make some, or you could, like, go get the achievement item, or you could get them already on a tray. And don't these ones specifically have, like, pink frosting?
I believe they do.
They do, according to that picture. They have pink frosting, so they're special sweet rolls.
They're special sweet rolls. Other furnishing packs available are the Steam Bath Serenity, which is like the Mermaid of Anvil statue with bubbling fountains and green stuff. And by green stuff, I mean plants.
Not that material that's used to build things. Got it.
No, not the material to build things. But yeah, this one's available soon as well. The Mermaid of Anvil is like one of those iconic statues that I remember from the other games. Like, I distinctly remember in Oblivion doing a quest where you had to like get rid of this ghost in the house that in, I think, this game might be a bank. I'm not really sure, but anyway, I just remember the Mermaid of Anvil statue, so it's kind of fun that that's in a furnishing pack. Of course, we have music boxes, just like we do every month. There's a Gunfallen Galliard, I don't know, composition music box, and the Breezy Night in Bruma, which always comes out around Hearts Day.
So if you want to play some smooth music for Hearts Day, apparently it's Breezy
right.
Night in Bruma.
Go get your pink icing sweet rolls, open this music box, and
enjoy Hearts Day. There you go.
Enjoy Hearts Day.
Next furnishing pack, let's go!
Go. I was waiting for you to chime in.
Malmer stuff. Malmer stuff, and it's all purple and blue, and those chairs look like they would be great for like beach anything in the cooking station, because let's just all assume it's a cooking station. We have enough tents. We have so many tents in this game already.
I love this. This one's so different. Tent.
Okay.
It's a pretty tent.
So are you trying to tell me I should get it for the island? Is that what you were implying?
Yes, do it.
What would you put in that tent, though? But yes.
Well, you know, if we knew more about those tables that we're going to be getting later, you know, that's a possibility. But I already have an idea for those.
Yeah.
So this gorgeous thing comes out February 23rd and is available until March 9th.
Yes.
Is that statue breathing something? It looks like it has something coming out of your mouth.
It's like a misty thing, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a mister. Oh, it's like when you go to the beach and you have to rinse off your feet. That's what that is. It's the Malmer edition.
You
or
got
like
some
those
big
little
feet.
water park things that you just run under them and they...
That too.
That's what I was thinking of, because otherwise those are for a giant.
Thing. Well, it's the shower, whatever. Same thing.
Okay. There's also some Clockwork furnishing pack stuff. This one's the Clockwork God's Domain, so it's like the big statue of Sothasil you see in the Clockwork City and stuff from the Simulacrum. So that's pretty fun.
I think the Clockwork stuff looks really cool, personally. It's not.
I do too.
It's not my personal favorite aesthetic or anything. Like, I like the beach and stuff like that, but I think the Clockwork stuff is maybe more interesting than a lot of the other stuff in the game as far as the environments go. Just because it's so different. It's like weirdly mechanical, but also somewhat mystical.
It's like Alien, but not.
Yeah. It's like this game's version of future tech.
Yeah, exactly. 2 houses are returning. Sweetwater Cascades, which is a beautiful home on the edge of Kavjiti and Imperial Lands.
Of Elsewhere and Blackwood. So you can actually leave it into Blackwood, or you can leave it into elsewhere.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. You can only fast travel to outside of it, though, into Blackwood. But if you're in the house, you can leave into elsewhere.
Very cool. Another popular one that I know people ask for from time to time is just returning as well, and it's the Colossal Aldmeri Grotto. This is the giant house that's like the huge grotto with waterfalls that has the big ship in it. It's so
People
cool.
only want it for the boat. People only
I know,
want it
but
for
like,
the boat.
so awesome. So awesome. There's a new house guest, Chef of Many Soups. Their name is Makes Many Soups.
They're not a new house guest, they're a returning house guest.
Okay, a returning house guest makes many soups. I didn't know that. I don't remember her from before, but I believe you.
I remember. It's okay.
So she's back, and then we've got the normal, like, sort of mount situation. We have the Dramothra Sench. This one makes me laugh. There's a Quasi-Grift, but it literally looks like a bald eagle.
Marco. I mean,
Marca. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, there's a saber cat. That
and
one
it's
looks
purple.
neat.
Oh my gosh, that looks great. It's purple. It's so cool. It can probably be like a zillion crown gems, and I'm never gonna be able to get it. But it is pretty.
It's a kind kitty. Drunk personality, that's back, and the bright moon's greeting emote.
That's in there.
Okay,
now.
listen.
As well.
Drunk personality, February 23rd to March 2nd. I feel they should extend that a little. Just hear me out. There's a holiday coming up there. People might want to use that. Anyway.
Yeah.
The bright moon's greeting looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I also like that Soul Gem Parchment Clippers is back.
Oh. Yeah, that one's just cute.
Super fun. Stone Lore Split. Remember how we were wondering if they were going to do more of those customized actions? They finally come out with the one. I know, Gwen. It's time, Gwen. So this is the wood chopping one. It's green, and it has little, like, leaves, kind of like the druidic, feel to it as you chop.
I am still upset about my vampire mist form. No. Hold on to the rage, Gwen. Hold on to the rage.
Dramothra Sench Cub, Jakajit Kamira. She's so cute. This little
She's in the store now, only until February 9th.
I love it. Says, with a roll and a hiss, Jakajit Kamira enters your life, ready to face danger at your side. She's so cute. And then this Cloud Cat, which is like a pink fancy cat with blue eyes for Debella. So this is another one of those February things that normally circles back around.
It is fun facts with Debella because of the cat. It is associated with cats are associated with Debella, and Debella's temples or houses or whatever you want to call them always have 3 to 4 cats, white cats, in residence. If you did not know that. I just learned that the other day, so I think that's cool.
I learned it when I read about the Debella stuff once I found out that the pet that we were getting was going to potentially be Debella themed. So I kind of, sort of knew it, but I had
It's also apparently right there in the description if neither of us knew it and we were just reading through this. So.
White cats are sacred to Debella, right there.
Can you...
I don't know how I feel that they describe it as a flavor jelly. That's weird.
An Argonian to wear a plum swamp jelly's feeler is a good luck tentacle.
Ooh. Scorpion fabricant, terrifying, but looks cool. And then we have some polymorphs. The Dread Ankara, which is only available, I think, another 3 days now at this point. And then the Factotum is available. And that is your crown store. showcase. One quick thing. They are retiring the Meridian crafting motif from the Crown Store on February 13th. So if you want it, you got a few days, but that's it. And that's it.
All right.
We did it.
Yeah, we got through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, there's more!
But wait,
We
there's
didn't say
more.
the show was over.
The good news is this one's easy because we've already covered it. Yeah, basically the next news item is just the recap of all the news from the developer direct and the global reveal, which we actually kind of went over last week. So if you follow the link, we'll probably have it in the show notes. But for this one, it's basically just click here, you can watch the live stream. Click here, you can watch the new trailer. And then it tells you all the things that you get for ordering, like the deluxe edition, pre-orders, the digital stuff. And then it talks about Scribes of Fate and how it was on an ESO Live as well. So there's like a link to go back and watch that. And then, yeah, just kind of like, we can't wait for the new community event that we're doing in 2023. Yay. That's what they said. I'm very sad that they're not going to be at PAX. It hurts my soul.
Isn't PAX what we were talking about trying to,
Yes.
yeah.
I cried to Lotus the other day because Gina posted in response to somebody, yeah, we're not going to PAX this year. And I was like, no!
You know, that whole landscape is changing in terms of, you know, how a lot of the big events like that are happening with, you know, like E3. A lot of big companies don't go to that anymore.
Yeah.
So you may start really seeing, if they're doing their own community event, I think that's what we're going to see a lot of. Who knows? It might, you know, could still be a cool thing.
Well, I'm trying to go to PAX, but now I'm like, do I hold out? Do I wait? Will they announce something? I don't know. I'm nervous I'm gonna like spend vacation and time and go to PAX, which will still be great if I go because there's a lot of plans for me to meet a lot of awesome people that I've really been wanting to meet from the community. But like, I'll be really sad if I go and do that, and then like a month later they say, "Oh, hey, we're doing our own standalone event in, you know, this place again." I'll be like, "Crap."
Well, they said they were going to do one in early March, so I'm surprised they haven't announced it yet.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
So,
early March ain't that far away. If they want people to be able to attend, they kind of need to get that out.
Yeah, I don't know. So, that's pretty much that story. There you go.
Everyone just getting disappointed. Yeah. Anyway.
Yay, Necrom reveal recap. Woohoo, great. And then me being disappointed. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Well, moving on. Yeah. Anybody want to take this one? You want me to take it? What do you want?
Discover Sami National Day with Nordic ESO community live streamers.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's Monday, so that's today, technically. So anyone who is listening to this, it will have already happened. Oh, no. If anyone's watching us live, however, this is your heads up.
There's no one watching live.
I know. Maybe we can, like, retweet the link to this article on our Snugpod Cast account, because this actually sounds cool. Join us Monday, February 6th at 1 p.m. EST as Nordic Community Manager Anna Eroldsson teams up with Nordic streamers Ni the Ghoul, Norway, Basilisk in Sweden, and Stream Team member Viking Trash also in Norway to celebrate Sami National Day with special ESO streams. Sami National Day is a joint celebration of Sami culture in Norway, Sweden, and Finland. Together as they explore and adventure in Tamriel, our streamers will talk about their Sami heritage plus share what this day means to them as Sami content creators and streamers. Want to tune in? This live stream team-up will be hosted on all three of the streamers' channels. There will be giveaways for those watching and chatting with our streamers, so don't miss out on your chance to win some ESO-themed goodies.
That actually sounds really cool.
Right? And the Sami culture and stuff is what's associated with like Santa Claus and his elves and things. So if you're interested in Sami culture, which is a weirdo historical person, I think we both are. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or really cool. We'll go with really cool. And it's great that it's something that we're tying into with ESO. So that's like 2 really cool things in one stream. So awesome.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's really great that they're like starting to be inclusive of other cultures and things like that. But I mean, it is important because they do have Bethesda Nordic. You know, so it's awesome that they're kind of showing the community off from all over the world, which is fun.
Yes.
I love it. So there we go. That's pretty much the news. We did it.
And someone else had lore tonight.
Oh yeah, I just grabbed something because I didn't know how long our show would be. So we can do it or we can not do it. I just grabbed a fun book that is... I kind of thought it would be fun since we just did the Dragon Hunt that was the multi-platform one last night, and this talks about that. So...
Yeah, it's not super long, so...
Nah, it's not super long. I can read it if you want. This book can be found on bookshelves in Southern Elsewhere, or on the table in the Ruddy Fang camp in Canarthy's Roost. It is called Dragons of Southern Elsewhere, and it's by Zandria Prevet, who is a scholar at large. It says, a short recording of observed dragon behavior. Much attention has been paid to the depredations of dragons in Northern Elsewhere, also called Anequina, but Southern Elsewhere also faces a plague of these vile creatures. This is a record of my experiences with these beasts. From afar, of course. I'm no dragon hunter. While traveling near Senchal, I met my first witness to a dragon. They described a great red beast as it swooped across the sky. Before the dragon could attack, the witness fled. I do not judge those who choose the wiser course of action, but I am not one to run away. Instead, I seek to categorize and record. I ventured to where the witness last saw this red dragon, and luckily it lingered in the area, so I was able to approach and observe it for a time. I noticed a strangeness in the horn formation. Was it missing a part of a horn? After a while, the dragon flew off. It never harmed a thing. I know not its purpose in that area, but was intrigued that it caused neither chaos nor damage, very much unlike what has been reported in the north. Is it possible this dragon was benign? Alas, I have an absence of evidence to quantify such a claim. Shortly thereafter, a different red dragon appeared in a burned-out area near Senchal, clearly intent on hunting. A group of dragon hunters also came through, and a great battle ensued. I watched, hoping to learn the dragon's name as it shouted and roared. After it fell to the hunters, but before it died, I approached the dragon and asked, "Please share your name so that I may record it." "You are not worthy of my name, mortal," it said, and then it expired. A shame. Perhaps the next dragon will prove to be more cooperative. For posterity, you understand. I placed both of these red dragons under unnamed dragons, as Brother Mathnam did in his Atlas of Dragons in 2nd Era 373. Next, I heard that a black dragon was spotted near the quarry to the south. I headed there quickly on my faithful steed, hoping to see this one in action. Luck was with me yet again. The dragon perched on a rock overlooking the quarry, speaking to figures I could not quite see. "I'm Latvalon, your master, and you will do as I say," it roared. How fortunate I was to hear the dragon speak its own name. I wrote it down and departed as quickly as I could, realizing I was just a little too close to a dragon and its minions for my own comfort. Scholarly pursuits be damned. I returned to Senchal, where I overheard some refugees talking about a new dragon guard. Could such an ancient order actually return to help us against the dragons? I should seek them out. For my research, you understand. I wonder who I know who might help with the introductions. So there you go. Kind of fun. Talks a little bit about, seeing a group of players basically killing dragons, but it also mentions named dragons, or describes dragons that are in the Southern Elsewhere quest line and the Northern Elsewhere quest lines. So, pretty fun. I like it.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool if you could actually go up to the dragons and talk to them before they,
All I could think when we were...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, all I could think when we were just reading that was last night, one of the Xbox members pointed out that it sounds like the dragons go, croissant!
Oh, yeah.
During...
Oh, yeah.
See, I thought they were saying that the like little icon looks like a croissant when they're almost dead, because the dragon icon is already like turned, and then there's the two lines that go through it, and it looks like a croissant.
It does look like a croissant, but for me,
And now I want a
Interesting.
croissant again.
for me, all I could hear when we were fighting last night was Fus Roda, and then like croissant. And it made me laugh. And they said whenever you hear croissant, it usually means that you're close to death or maybe already dead. So that's all I could think about when I was just
I
reading
thought it
that
meant
book
your
just
food
now.
runs out.
No, that too.
That would
The
be
dragon's just telling you to check your buffs. Croissant!
funny. Audible cues.
Oh my gosh. Good times, good times.
Nice. I think some of the most interesting conversations come from the dragons, because just talking to a dragon seems so absurd. The fact that you could carry on a
Yeah.
conversation with one, they're generally, I think, kind of cool conversations. Going back to Skyrim and is it Parthenax, however you say his name.
Yep, Parthenax.
And conversations with him, and I don't recall the name of the one that you talk with in the Elsewhere quest line, but
Nafalar.
is that the I don't want to spoil anything.
Mm-hmm.
The one you
Yep,
engage with a
that's
lot.
the one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Latvalon is the other one.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I probably butchered all of those names.
Yeah. Well, you need dragon drops for those, I guess.
Yeah, Dwemer drops, dragon drops,
Yeah.
same difference.
Yeah. Cool.
Wow.
I've got my notes printed out in front of me, and I was just overlooking where it went to the next page. It split. Okay, cool. So we're done with everything. You hear that? That's notes.
Yep, I hear that's you stacking your notes. I hear it.
Yeah, all 2 pages of it.
Is your magic parchment working? Because I typed something in the notes.
Uh,
So did it show up on your page?
no.
If not, I'll just insert it when we get there.
No. My pre-printed copy doesn't get the edits made during the show.
Listen, I didn't know. You might have some sort of weird magical spell that works on that
Oh,
parchment. that
I
don't know
see it.
about.
I see it. My little Sigic tablet's telling me the thing.
Oh, good. Good.
So just I guess we'll close up. We've got just our normal, as we always do, some announcements for the guild. That guild being the Lore Seekers. If you are unfamiliar, we're on every platform. The 3 of us, specifically main PlayStation. These other 2 do play on PC as well, some, but we all main PlayStation. So some of this stuff is new. The event calendar, what's up with that?
It's live. There's a separate channel in the PlayStation channels that is the actual event sign up. So if you click on that channel, it will pull up the actual event like bot stuff, and all you do is simply click what you want to attend to join. If it requires you to fill out any other information, it'll just send you a quick direct message where you can put the information in that you gotta give it. And other than that,
Is that
Good
for
to go.
specific events like the Dragon Hunt, or is that for the weekly calendar too?
that is our weekly calendar currently.
Okay.
But yes, I did have one for the Dragon Hunt last
Okay.
night as well. So I will always try and utilize that if we have a special event coming. But each week right now, if you look in that channel, you will see the weekly events and who's leading them and any information about them to sign up for. The nice thing is you don't have to feel bad because if you sign up and then you can't attend or you're going to be late or something like that, there's also options for that. So you can click like late, or you can click absent,
Or tentative.
or
You
tentative.
don't have
if
to
you're not
commit. You can just say
not
you're interested.
sure. Yeah, and you want somebody to check back with you, or for it to remind you, because I also have it set to send you a reminder like 30 minutes before or an hour before, depending on what it is. You can also click tentative, and then it'll let you get a little reminder. So there you go.
Okay, cool. So then our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday stuff, Fridays, all on there.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. So we don't
Not
got
Wednesday, 'cause
Mondays with
Wednesday's on
Moki
hold.
this week. Yep. It's going to be Mondays with Moki this week, and we are in Southern Elsewhere, fishing, and killing dragons along the way.
Yes.
Cool. And that time is 8 p.m. Eastern.
Correct answer.
Okay, good, because I never remember. I just wait for Discord to ping me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 8 Eastern.
Yeah, and it's kind of grouping around 7:30, getting going about.
Yeah.
You can join at any time as long as they're still running.
Right.
Yeah, you can always.
I have been wait before to those, and you just, woo, we're fishing, we're killing things. This is a fun time. It really is. I recommend joining.
Yeah.
If you have access to Southern Elsewhere and are available at that time period.
Oh, sure.
And, Tuesdays, Treacherous Tuesday, Dungeon Night, Dungeon Day, whatever works. If you want to grab some guildies, get in and do some dungeons, chase some achievements, look for some loot, any of that kind of stuff you're trying to do. If you just want to do story mode runs, you haven't done a dungeon yet, you just want to, run through it and just check out what it has to offer in terms of lore and things like that. Hopefully that's a change we see soon, is you can redo the dungeon quests. So if you ever get into a pug and they just speed through it on your first time, you can still go through and do it again. And you can always just not accept the quest, but
Sometimes newbies don't know that.
Yeah.
Sometimes people who have been around forever don't know that. Anyway, Wednesday night trials are still on hold, but you can still request content when wanted. And then, speaking of dungeons, we have Fearless Friday with Arthuria, where we do Undaunted dailies.
Undaunted. We are undaunted. Awesome.
Yep.
I know we're supposed to do that with you, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's all
Same.
good. It's all good. I mean, it's only, almost 1 or 2, depending on where we are.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I wasn't even talking. You're hearing things. Yeah, so if you're interested in doing any of this stuff with us, any of these activities, or well, first off, if you're in the guild and you have ideas for other things you want to do, we've kind of not touched on that lately, but if you're interested in hosting or leading an event, just hit us up in Discord or through other means if Discord's not the way you choose to communicate, but that's the easiest way to get us, and you can hit us up with those, and we'll see about trying to get that stuff worked into the calendar, or if it's just kind of a one-off thing you want to do, and we can get all that stuff set up too. But speaking of Discord, if you are looking for a guild, you don't have a guild, or you have an empty spot and you think this would be a fun guild to add, just kind of a social, more casual guild, there are elements depending on, especially the platform you're on. I know PC's got some more progressed.
We'd be crazy over there.
Yeah. They've got some people that run harder content, I think, over there, and PvP and stuff like that. And we have some of that, we have a little bit of that, but just being a smaller platform overall, and I don't, I'm not sure exactly what.
Anyway,
I'm not sure what all Xbox has going on, but we are on every platform. And if you're interested, we've got a new way to sign up. You go to discord.gg/loreseekerseso. It's a custom link, and it should take you right into the Discord. And the other option is still there too, right? The loreseekers.club.
Yep.
So
Yep. That one's always going to be there.
Yeah. So you can use that. That has links to all the different things, and yeah. So come check us out. Join the Discord. Join the guild, and come hang out with us. And if you want to talk with us on social media, there's probably a couple of different ways to do that, right?
you can get a hold of us on Twitter at Snugpodcast, email snugpodcast@gmail.com. If you also want to watch us live, if you have insomnia or something, twitch.tv/snugpodcast or YouTube search Snugpodcast. And if you just, want to get a hold of us in game and don't want to touch any of the weird social media stuff, you can just shoot us an email. Maybe we'll send you back a sweet roll. That could be cool.
Heck
Yep.
yeah.
And if you are watching by chance later on after this is posted, in the video format, and you just rather listen, that's an option too. Check us out on your podcast app. Search Snugpod Cast, and we should be top result, if not the only result, because that's the best name in the world, and nobody else ever thought of it. So, yep. And so come check us out, and go back, and if this is your first episode hearing us, this is a weird place to start. Go back to the beginning and catch up. You get to that Elvis episode, you're gonna love it.
Maybe like skip to episode 5. Give us a minute to get a little bit better. I promise you, you will cringe listening to episode 1. I promise
That's
you.
true. That's true.
There's it's been a learning curve. It's still a learning curve. I don't know what I'm doing. We just come and hang out and talk. It's all good. But until next week, I assume we'll be back next week. We'll talk about some more ESO stuff, and we may have some more news related to more PTS changes, or if we have any other reveals or anything like that. We try to keep up and touch on that stuff, and we'll catch up with you then. Until then, everybody have a great week. Be safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you next time.
Sleep well, Tamriel.
Bye. All right, we're done.